Our next guest, Cynthia Rivard, has just released a book titled A New Breed of Leader, a guide for healing humanity and peaceful revolution. In the book, Cynthia talks about the rise of something called the microleader. Cynthia joins us now on Daily Flash. Welcome, Cynthia.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here.
So let's start with the phrase, the rise of the microleader. What does that mean?
You can consider this your daily, everyday influence. Most people don't consider themselves a leader unless they've ever held a title or been handed a gavel of responsibility, but we all have positive influence of others in our daily interactions. And that's what micro leadership is, recognizing that and then being intentional in our interactions. And then you can take that a step further and recognize that everyone you're interacting with has influence, the same ability and possibility to influence others,
So
and
I'm thinking
becoming intentional in that.
I'm thinking of it in maybe layman's terms. You're at the grocery store, you're kind of leading the way. You see somebody who's blocking the aisle. Instead of getting in an argument, you kind of give way or offer help. Is that kind of the idea behind it?
Absolutely. Everyone we interact with, we have an ability to positively influence, but we're usually not intentional and recognize the influence we have. And another example would be if you have a fight with your spouse in the morning, they go to work and have a different way of interacting for that next hour or so because of your interaction with them. It's the ripple effect.
Yeah, I remember somebody talking about reaction. Your reaction says everything in a certain situation, and it's figuring out how to react in situations that might be uncomfortable or awkward that really differentiate you from other people in a sense, I guess, like you had mentioned, the micro leader.
Absolutely. And that can start with fostering the ability to regulate your emotions, to foster that inner peace. So you can think clearly and come across calmly with diplomacy in all of your interactions
Yeah,
and kindness.
I like the way you mentioned inner peace being able to enable outward progress. And I think that's an important part, approaching a problem or a situation with a more peaceful mindset. What about aligned action?
Well, we're all very good, at least I am, of with being busy, but not all action is created equal. So I define aligned action as really discerning that you're taking the right action with the time you have, because time's our most precious asset. And are we intentional and taking the best actions? Because we all find time for what we prioritize.
And lastly, you say we all must get involved. How so? How are we not getting involved enough, I guess, is the bigger question.
Well, again, this goes back to micro leadership and being intentional. It's very easy to watch the news and feel very disempowered with all of the conflict and the dysfunction in the world, but we can all find a little time or a little money to contribute somewhere more. So we all need to do more because there's a lot of things that need solving, but just look for those micro actions that we can start taking now, because as soon as you start taking an action, a really small action, you don't feel disempowered anymore. And that starts looking at your own neighborhood or community.
And I
um,
think of it too, Cynthia, is even in situations when you're on the road and you're sharing the highway with somebody and they cut you off or they don't use their turn signal and people get the road rage. I mean, there's a
yeah.
different approach we can take with this, in a leadership format, right?
Absolutely. And, when things like that happen, it's absolutely more about them than you. So if you let go of attachment and just wish them the best and hope they get there safely
Right.
because, uh, you know, They've got
Definitely.
some things to work through. Yeah.
Cynthia, it's wonderful to chat with you. Thank you so much. For more information on Cynthia's book, there it is, A New Breed of Leader. You can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com, or you can go visit her website at cynthiarivard.com.